and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maya and today we're going to be getting into part 2 of making a couple's Dune Halloween costume. As I mentioned in part 1 of this series, I wanted to make a costume that would be wearable in day-to-day life as separates. So here's a quick review from that video. Here is the design that I came up with for the matching costume for myself and my partner, and here is what I'm going to be tackling today, my jumpsuit and shrug. So let's get into it! I started with grabbing a trouser pattern to base the bottom of the jumpsuit off of. I marked the adjustments I was going to make to it based on fitting it on myself, and then I trimmed off the excess. Then, I laid out my new pattern on an old curtain. So I thought it would be good for a quick toile to make sure that my pattern was good, as I had a limited amount of this black rib knit that I had thrifted a couple months ago. I'm usually very much not a mock-up sort of person, more of a cut and pray sort of person, but since I was so lucky to find that end of roll of fabric, I wanted to make sure that I could use it as efficiently as possible, so making a toile out of an old curtain that was falling to pieces was definitely the best move. I think it's super valuable to use black thread on a toile because then you can really see where your lines are and it makes it a lot easier to spot issues. Once I fitted the toile and also split the pattern for adding this panel, I was ready to get started in the real fabric. After cutting out the pieces of the pants pattern, I pinned the faces together and sewed them up. Next, I tackled the ribbed crotch panels. My idea was to create panels of this shape with stuffing between the layers and then sew through those layers along the dotted lines to emulate this sort of texture, but in fabric. Then, I repeated this process 4 times. After pinning the right sides together, I was ready to test out this method. I quickly realized that you have to be pulling the fabric apart, gently pressing it and keeping it from getting twisted under itself while it's sewing, otherwise it gets all lumpy and wrinkly. With the panels all finished, as well as the pants, I was finally ready to put these together. After making sure the panels matched the cutout slice, I went ahead and cut the pants. Then I pinned the panels in, crossed my fingers, and hoped. Of course, I had to run out of thread just before this, so before I could get started, I had to rethread my bobbin and then get sewing. After sewing it up, I tried it on to make sure everything was fitting right. Once I was pleased with it and marked out the adjustments I needed to make, I pinned the second panel into the second leg. Then I sewed it up and pinned in the bottom leg to the panel I had just sewn up. Then I sewed that one up too. Now that the pants were done, I could turn them right side out and give them a try, check out how things are looking before I trimmed off any excess. With the bottom of the jumpsuit more or less complete, I tackled the top part of the jumpsuit. I started with tracing a bodysuit that I had made a couple weeks ago, then I quickly cut that shape out. Since I had matched the bottom part of the jumpsuit to the crotch seam of the pants, I went ahead and finished off the edges on that bottom part in order to tailor the top part more easily. After adding the back panel and tailoring the top shape, I went ahead and finished the edges in the same sort of way. In this case, since this fabric is ribbed on one side but more of a smooth knit on the other side, I'm able to create these edges by simply rolling the edge twice over, essentially having that raw edge tucked in entirely and pinned down. Then a quick seam about 1 millimeter from the edge of that rolled up part finishes it off. Then I made a collar, pinned it in, and sewed it up. It's important to remember though that when you're sewing something like a collar with a stretch fabric, you have to be stretching the fabric as you're sewing it, otherwise it's not going to fit over your head. So here is the jumpsuit. No, it is not quite finished because I actually forgot to add the stripe panels on the chest, and since I just hate measuring so much, I used the pen from my tablet to align the perfect distance for where the stripes would start from the top. After marking out the stripes in chalk, I seam ripped the edge of the hem where the stripes would go in so that I could reclose the hem over the edge of the stripes. After cutting 3 stripes from some scrap fabric, I pinned them in place and sewed them down with a 1mm seam on the edge of each stripe. Once complete, I trimmed off the excess and folded over the hem again and re-sewed it. I needed a way to create a closure for the jumpsuits, so using these bra attachment inserts, I sewed these 2 hook and eye straps together. Then I sewed one half to the back strap and the other half to the inside of the waistband. With the jumpsuit pretty much done, it was time to move on to the shrug. You might be wondering as to why I'm putting on this random little shrug. Well, basically, I used this little sweater I made a long time ago to mock up the pattern for this shrug. Then after sewing it up and tailoring it to fit better, I finished the hems and added padding in the shoulders in order to mimic those shoulder protective pads in still suits. Here's how the shrug turned out. I kept it super simple because I do want to be able to wear this in my day-to-day life. This little Rick Owens-esque shrug with the puffy shoulders is 100% something I'll be rocking because I do love shoulder pads. I tried the shrug on with the jumpsuit and I'm feeling like the pieces are really coming together. Here's the back. And if you notice that the cuffs are unfinished, it's because I'm not sure if I'll be doing some elbow stuff later. Trust me, it'll make sense. So I want to keep that extra fabric just in case so that I'll have some, spare room to work with. Here's a closer look at some of the details. I still need to trim off the excess on the inside, so that's where I'm getting a little bit of lumpiness. Also, I did really turn up the whites on these shots so that you could see the details of the jumpsuit, but in reality, the fabric is super brand new and black looking, so I still also have to wash this to fade it, and hopefully that won't take a million attempts. Unfortunately, it's already cold enough that the sun is not going to make it easy for me to sun fade this jumpsuit, so we'll test out some methods. Also, in terms of elbow pads, I haven't quite decided if I want to make them out of fabric, sew them right into the shrug, or use some sort of adaptation of these roller skating pads. Same goes for the knees. I have these knee pads as well, but I don't roller skate, so maybe I'll use them, or maybe it'll be something I do later on in the process. Now, let's try fading these. I forgot to record my first attempt, but according to the people of Reddit, I decided to try a super hot wash in my washing machine with a lot of lemon juice. Then I hung it in front of my plant's grow light to see if that would help fade it, but it didn't really seem to do much. Another method that is used in cosplay to age fabric is using white acrylic paint mixed with water, so I went for that next. After prepping the fabric by lint rolling it and trimming any leftover long threads, I tested out the look of my mixture on a little piece of scrap. While it might be looking scary on first glance, as soon as I dabbed it out with some paper towel, it became almost imperceptible. So I figured better safe than sorry, let's see how it looks once it dries. Since after drying it looked pretty much the same, maybe slightly lighter, I decided to just go for it with the actual jumpsuit. I tried to make sure that I was concentrating it on the points that would get the most wear and tear, things like the front of the knees, the center of the body, and on the quilted ribbing crotch situation. After saturating it as thoroughly as I could and hoping for the best, I moved on to the shrug. After letting them dry, this method actually turned out to be pretty successful, but I might have to do more rounds, so I'm gonna leave that until I finish up my boyfriend's costume so that I can make sure that they match perfectly. So with this being more or less how it's turned out, what do you think? Should I use those elbow pads or should I go ahead with my original design of creating fabric padding straps? Next, I'll be tackling making my partner's top and bottom, and hopefully getting started on some of those accessories as well. So until next time, subscribe.